Z-28-12, 318-324 West Grant Street. Please come forward.
Tony, join in with this vote. Would you raise your right hand, please? You both do solemnly swear the testimony you're giving tonight is the truth, This is Anthony.
Anthony Alvarado, 320, North Avenue, East, Franklin.
State your name, spell your name, and give your address.
Samuel Engel, N-G-E-L, 17 Hedgerow Lane, Alvin, New Jersey, 7726.
Last year, and it's his intention to modify the proposed plan so as to reduce the number of floors to 4, reduce the number of units to 22, thereby increasing the open space and just about meeting parking requirements of the site. I handed out a landscaping plan within the original application, but missing from this application. And I just wanted to make sure that we had this morning the testimony proceedings. With that, I'd like to call my first witness. And we were principal of the Grand Real Estate Holdings LLC, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And Grand Real Estate Holdings is 24 West Grand Street?
Yes, it is.
And this property was purchased in December of last year?
Yes, it was.
Now, the site itself is a regular shape, is that correct?
It is.
There's 86 feet of frontage along West Grand Street.
There is.
The property is presently vacant.
Yes, sir.
Now, in 2006, this site was approved for a 6-story residential building, correct?
Yes, it was.
And plan proposal for 30 units of residential housing.
Correct.
Each of those 30 units were 2-bedroom apartments.
Yes, they were.
And you reviewed that plan in detail, correct?
Yes, I have.
And the review determined that we prefer at the site to be best served by a building having a smaller height or lower height and fewer units, correct?
Correct.
And the proposal before the board this evening is to reduce the structure from 6 stories to 4 and to provide for 22 units of residential housing, correct?
Yes.
Now, the number of units that are being constructed, these proposed one-bedroom unit on the ground level, is that correct?
It is.
And 7 2-bedroom units on each of the upper floors.
That's right.
Now, by doing this, you would, of course, increase your parking ratio to 41 spaces, correct?
Yes.
And you're also increasing the open space ratio as compared to the original plan.
Yes, we are.
With regard to the single-bedroom unit on the first floor, what's the purpose of putting a 1-bedroom unit at that level?
For a caretaker,
That would be the super department.
there'll be somebody in the building at all times taking care of the apartments, trash.
Now, this would be an elevator building.
Will be.
That would make all the apartments handicap accessible.
That is correct.
Now, you're also proposing 1 curb cut on West Grand Street, is that correct?
Yes.
And that's to address the egress of the parking areas of the premises.
Yes.
And we are providing 41 spaces, 40 on-site, 1 curbside, is that correct?
Yes.
And we're also providing 1 handicap parking space.
Yes.
2-bedroom apartments on the upper floor, 2 bedrooms, the dining area, kitchen, which is back, correct?
Yes,
And each of the apartments has configured would provide a balcony over to the outside.
they would.
The balconies range in size from 7 by 7 feet to 14 by 7, correct?
Yes,
Now, the letter for apartment itself that I reviewed with you dated January 2nd, 2013, had questions regarding breakfast and recycling on site. Can you tell us where breakfast and recycling is going to be maintained?
on the ground floor, right behind the stair area,
And that'll be retained indoors.
will be.
And will the garments that be placed curbside by the super, is that a good thing?
By the caretaker, yes.
That's the garment that
Yes.
Now, you had an unusual occurrence this week when you discovered that there was in fact an easement that affected the property, is that correct?
It is.
That was something that was not evident in the original plan or even in the title search, correct? And since discovering that, you have been in negotiations with the adjoining landowner, is that correct?
That is correct.
And as a result of those negotiations, you have entered into a memorandum of agreement for the extinguishing of that easement?
Yes, we have.
To understand that easement must be extinguished before this project can proceed.
Absolutely.
Now, should the board approve this application to start construction as soon as we meet all the requirements in connection with the resolution?
Yes.
Nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioners? Questions, please?
What is the easement that needs to be extinguished?
There's an easement that runs along the southerly side of the property for ingress and egress, as well as some parking spaces. This easement was actually, the dominant landowner is a property that fronts on Grove Street. And as a result of the negotiations between my client and the adjoining landowner, they have reached a memorandum of agreement whereby my client is purchasing the right to use the easement. At the side, memorandum of agreement is why the board.
I think we would need the actual easement prior to final,
Well, I would
obtaining a building permit.
Yes. You want to have confirmation that the easement is stated
Yes.
by the deed by the agreement. But I want to make the board aware of the fact that this was discovered 3 days ago. And only because notice was served on the landowner. Somehow it never came up in any title search, or any predecessor of the title, or at the time of the original application was approved in 2007.
But nobody's using that
No.
property for either parking or access
No.
that you know
There
of.
would have been no visual indication that it was in place. It's there.
Is there any further anything on the take-up?
It's like,
Commissioner Lewis? Commissioner Castro? Alvarez? Mendes? Anyone with that?
Thank you, Frank.
Raise your right hand, please. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're giving is the truth, speak directly into it, state your name, spell your name, and your, please.
My name is Frank J. Lawrence. Vice Mayor Frank J. Lawrence, L-A-W-R-E-N-C-E. A Vice President of the firm James Ortware Architects, PA, 55 Jefferson Avenue, Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Please proceed.
Frank, you hear this site plan this application?
Yes, ma'am.
And describe the site?
It's an irregular, basically, it's an irregular site.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make more volume, because I'm having trouble hearing.
Oh, okay. It's an irregular site. It's a vacant site at this point. The dimensions, as you have explained, I can show you the dimensions. It's basically in regards to the size of the site.
The last,
Currently vacant.
Can you describe the
basically, it's a mixed-use area. Across the street, there's a 16-story apartment unit. To the right side, there's a commercial oil company, distribution company. On the corner, there's also an automobile facility, commercial facility. Actually, there's a storage facility and also an apartment building that's about 5 stories. It's similar in configuration, or design type to this, what we're planning for this site.
That's the building at the corner of Grove and.
That's right. And that's a 5-story unit. I'm not sure the number of units, but it's a 5-story.
Now, your firm was involved with the original plan for this board for the approval of a larger building, is that correct?
Correct.
And would you describe that proposal as approved in 2006?
That proposal was a 6-story unit. It had 30 unit building, 6-story, 30 unit. It was a little bit less in size, but it had more stories.
There was also a larger parking variance, correct?
There was no other parking variance due to the number of apartment units that were in that project.
And there was also minimal open space, correct?
Correct.
Now, would you describe the proposal before the board this evening?
Yeah, the proposal before the board downsizes the original proposal. It's a 3-story building. 4-story building. 22 apartments total. One apartment, 2-bedroom apartment on the first floor, one bedroom apartment on the first floor, and 7 apartments on each of the other 2 floors that are 2-bedroom units.
And this is an elevator building,
It's
correct?
completely elevated building, handicapped units. Each one is a handicapped accessible unit.
Now, by virtue of this reduced number of reduced units, this reduces the requirement for parking, correct?
Yes, it does.
And right now, the application is showing 48 on-site parking spaces and one curbside for a total of 41.
That is correct.
And the zoning ordinance, the ordinance calls for 44 units.
That's correct, yes.
We're missing 3 units.
We're missing 3 units.
So the old plan was a variance that was approved for 15 units. Let's start with 15 units.
Yeah, the original approval, we had 45 cars, but they required 60, so there was a variance for 15 units, 15 cars.
Now, access is from Grove Street through one curb, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, could you describe the exterior finish?
Yes.
You want a rendering with you?
Yes, I did.
Marlon Hazel. Frank, the rendering, Mark, name of the presentation, is this accurate depiction of the building as completed?
Yes, it is.
And could you describe the colors and finishes that are being proposed?
Yeah, basically, the building, the color finishes, we want to do in earth tones.
Is what?
Earth tones. Okay. The front of the building is a combination of cut stone and stucco. We have a canopy running across the building that creates the design that you should see here. That'll be a shingle roof. Again, it's brown tones, they may change, but basically it's basically what we feel like we want the building to be. The roof is going to be basically a shingle roof. The sides of the building, there will be a portion of it that will have cut stone, which is carried around from the front, and the remainder of it will be sided.
So from the streetscape as you're going up and down West Grand Street, you're actually seeing a stone building essentially on the 3 sides.
Yes, stone building on 3 sides. Of course, it has the residential look with double windows, fully insulated windows.
Now, the drawing also depicts an ornamental gate at the entrance.
Yes, it does.
This is for security.
For security, absolutely. That's basically the entrance into the parking area.
Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Nunes?
I do have a couple of questions. Ms. Lawrence, although it's obvious that the building has been dropped from 30 units to 22 units, so right there, I mean, there's an obvious less of an impact on the area. But overall, with 22 units, 4-story building in this general area, in your own personal opinion, do you think that it's less of an impact overall on the local area?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the next question I have for you is regarding colors. Because recently we've had a couple of applications that have come to the board that have really nice earth tone colors on paper, and then when they go to be built, they turn into, well, some really interesting colors. We just want to make sure that the applicant is going to hold true. And I mean, listen, we're not going to go there with this and, you know, make sure that it's that shade of brown, but it's not going to turn into green with yellow polka dots or something to that effect.
Basically, I think, well, these are the colors, or the type of colors that the applicant, we've discussed with the applicant. He's reviewed this with us. These are his input, his ideas. So basically, we've tried to project his ideas and what he feels the building should be.
Wonderful. Okay, so no surprises.
No, hopefully not.
Wonderful. Thank you. I have a question.
Mr. Castro?
Regarding rendering G002, which pertains to greenery, what type of things are you proposing around the perimeter of the property?
Plantings, these basically plantings that were in the original application, and we just duplicated, but basically, planting schedule indicates 3 trees on the front along West Grand. Each of those trees are hedge maples. And then we have a variety of gold junipers, winterberries, great expectations. These are juniper berry and great expectations. These are plants that will be planted around the perimeter in the open spaces, along with the larger areas that are actually to the east and to the south, and there's a smaller portion to the west that will be one area.
So you're not proposing any type of things?
Yes, a board-on-board fence that will be proposed. Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Additional comments, commissioners? I have a couple of questions. Addressing Harbor Soap, going down to the general comments. They have asked for landscaping and lighting plan should be provided.
This is a landscaping plan.
Just want to put on the record, we're going to submit something that has been submitted.
It has been submitted.
Mr. Colorado, you already, you have seen the plan and you're okay with it?
Yeah, the line, essentially, very similar to what was originally proposed.
Actually, I'd like to know your comments on this case, please. Oh, I'm sorry. One more question I have. Also on other comments, access route from the handicap parking space to the building. Have you shown that?
We could revise the handicap. I mean, right now, basically, you would have to cross over the parking area to get to the building, the handicapped space. But actually, the entrance to the building's here, so that's actually good to go outside and walk along the park.
Sorry, said that you did the building here.
Basically, for the record, I just want to make sure that as we put in a parking stall that is approved by our city engineer, and shown on the plan.
Okay, we have a handicap stall shown on the plan. The access is not shown directly towards the entrance. So we can actually indicate that and make it clearer.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just for clarification, what we want to do is, it's required by code, is that they strike the route from handicap parking spot to the accessible entrance. So somebody in a wheelchair, when they exit the car, they know where to go to get to the accessible entrance. So there's no question they follow the route, strike, and that's becoming, an ADA standard with most parking lots. So that's really all we're asking for. We have no problem with the location of the handicap spot. We just want to make sure that they strike the accessible route.
We can actually show that in the contract drawings.
My last question is this like 3 lots or 1 lot? 3 lots. Okay. Please proceed.
Yes, I did. We can go down to each one of them. Item number 2, in zoning comments, item number 2, the following variance required. Target parking spaces is 44, whereas 41 parking spaces are proposed. We're lessening the requirement based on the design side of the building. Prevailing front setback 25 feet, whereas the front yard setback 4.4 is proposed. Its base is the same as was the original approval. Number C, the prevailing rear yard setback is 100 feet, whereas the rear yard setback of 134 foot 3 inches is proposed. This is an increase from the original proposal, which was 23 feet. And the reason for that is in reducing the size or the height of the building down to 3 stories or 4 stories, we essentially, to make up the area to get the apartment units in it, we increased the length of the building. So we increased the setback to 134 feet, 3 inches. Prevailing number D, prevailing left side setback is 29 feet, whereas the left side setback is 4.4 inches as proposed. That's the same as the original proposal. Prevailing number E, the prevailing right side yard setback is 50 feet, whereas the right side yard setback of 4.4 is proposed. Again, that's the same as the original proposal. Number F, open spaces required of 8,559 square feet, whereas 2,822 square feet of open spaces proposed. This is an increase. We're actually increasing the percentage to 19.78% versus the original proposal, which was 17.6%. And number G, under section 17.3.36.140E4 of the ordinance, parking areas shall be accompanied by landscape areas amounting to 20% of the paved parking and driveway area, and our calculations come up to 21%. So we're actually more than 20 that's required.
That's not really a variance.
That's not a variance, right?
Now, just in general, what's being proposed is a substantial improvement over the variances requested in the initial application,
Yes, they are.
especially with regard to parking and open space.
Yes. Correct.
This application, the variances being requested, would it be a negative impact on surrounding uses of the neighborhood?
No. Yes.
Commissioners, any additional questions for the architect?
I have a question for the architect.
Commissioner Castro?
You know, next to the handicap apartment, and I'm again looking at G002. Yes, what is the distance in feet between the proposed form Okay, I'm looking at rendering G002. And I'm actually looking at the proposed handicap apartment in that rendering. What is the distance in feet between the proposed fence and the door that is proposed to access that handicap apartment? Please.
I'm sorry, sir. Well, there's a handicap space.
The largest distance between it is on the landscape in rendering.
Is this what is that?
You can actually look at rendering A100.
Something, it's 4.35 feet.
4.35 feet.
4.35 feet. Thank you.
Just so you know for the record, that is not a handicap apartment, right?
All the apartments are handicap accessible to the building. That can also be, however, it is proposed for the use of the sewer.
Based on your testimony before, you stated all the above apartments because of the elevator or handicap.
Handicap accessible.
The initial, the apartment on grade is for the sewer.
It is.
It is.
So it's going to be handicap accessible.
Yes. But every apartment, including the one on the ground floor, is handicap accessible.
Okay. Please proceed. Any other questions, commissioners, for the architect? Okay. Please proceed. Next witness. Mr. Colorado, what is your opinion on this case, please?
Well, personally, I think it's a substantial improvement to what was approved initially. It's down, that was being downscaled, I think the four-story building, the lesser units, I think it's more suitable for the size of the property. I thought initially it was too much density, on the initial approval. So I think it's an improvement to what was approved prior.
Thank you. Are there any members in the audience who wish to testify regarding the application? If so, please step forward, one at a time. State your name and address for the record. Not seeing any, we will now go into our closed session. Commissioners,
Mr. Chairman,
please.
let me say something. I personally like this application. I'm not going to make an issue over the fence around the perimeter. But I would like to see an ornamental fence 15 feet from West Grand Street back on the left and the side and the right of the gate.
Mr. Castro, you know we've already closed the session. I couldn't even ask the question if it's even an option. But
I understand that, but I can,
well, Hearing your opinion, hopefully the applicant can work with the city engineer, possibly add that to the application if it is approved. Would that be acceptable?
It would be acceptable.
Excellent.
But actually, for the record, we have been in closed session and changes have been made based on suggestions made by commissioners in previous applications.
We can reopen and reopen to the meeting
Mr. Castro, could you please ask the question to Mr. Andrew?
I don't have any problem with this application. I personally like this application. I would like to see an ornamental fence 15 feet from West Grand Street to the back of the building.
Commissioner, if I
On
could
the right
for clarification, are you suggesting something in keeping with the gate that's in the front here? Like
That is correct, Mr.
I think the applicant can stipulate that he'd be pleased to put an ornamental fence at least 15 feet back from the front facade of the property.
Thank you, Mr.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Nunes?
I see applications like this coming more and more in front of this board, and it's a pleasure to take large-scale applications like we've been seeing and shrinking them down to something that's more manageable like this. It's a pleasure to see something like that happen. I also am in favor of this application.
Commissioner Breathless? Commissioner Fernandez?
In agreement with Commissioner.
Commissioner Silva?
I agree with my fellow commissioners.
Commissioner Ely?
So in agreement with that application.
My opinion, aesthetic is a beautiful building. I agree and echo Commissioner's thoughts. It's a good, valid project. It was possibly a good, valid project 5, 6, 7 years ago. Even better now. May I have your motion, please, Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move the motion to this application, providing that the ornamental fence be installed on both sides of the building, from the front of the building to the back.
Move to approve under the conditions with the ornamental fence to be moved from the front to the back. Commissioners, may I have a second?
I second that motion.
Commissioner Fernandez?
Aye.
Commissioner Nunes?
Aye.
Vice Chairman Massage?
Aye.
Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
Commissioner Silva? Aye. Commissioner Ely?
Aye.
Commissioner Galvez?
Aye.
And Commissioner Bathos?
Congratulations.